Hey guys, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. So today is just kind of a little update on the farm, where we're at on different projects. We had a really busy weekend, wasn't able to do much this weekend, but I figured it'd be a good time to give y'all kind of an update of where everybody's at. So for y'all who are following the daily short videos of the steers being prepped out for freezer camp, this is them. The white one is for us. The orange one is going to be for a customer. The white one's about at the very end of September, makes 30 months. For those of you that don't know, you after 30 months you can't get the any T-bones, porterhouses, or anything like that. They got to cut the spine out for risk of mad cow's disease, I believe. So we're pushing it on him. This fella right here is 24 months old, or he will be 24 months old in September. So they're definitely doing really good. We got 3 more steers, or technically 2 bulls and a steer. I got to bring those 2 bulls to the vet to make them steers, because foot hung up in the grass, because they're too big for me to be able to manage with the facilities I got, which is something we got to fix in the future. But I'm gonna bring those 2 to the vet probably in the near future to go ahead and get them turned into steers. But those 2 guys, current plan is we'll probably feed them out to 18 months old, and which is a 1.5 years, and we're going to send those guys to the butcher. So we already got one of those sold, and then we'll probably keep one for us as well. And then I do have another little steer. He's probably about 2 months old by now. The other 2 bulls are 6 months old. So we're going to continue this rotation with all the bulls we got. We're going to turn them into steers and then send them off to freezer camp and all that. Let's go check on the herd. So as we're headed back here to check on the herd, I'll do a couple other things. So this is the field that the steers are on that we just brush hogged. As you can tell, they still got plenty of bahia grass. They continue to graze all this, but it's just too much for them guys to graze down. It's probably definitely my best pasture. Now we can walk over and look at this little 3-acre section over here that the steers have availability to as well. Just not as much over there for them to eat, so they don't go over there as much. And there's definitely plenty. Y'all can just tons and tons of bahia. And there's a lot of other undesirable stuff too. So get on the other side of this. This fence ain't live. It's opened up right there to where they can go across it whenever they want to. This field we brush hogged a while back. You can look back at those videos to see what that looked like. But we got a bunch of steamy weed stuff coming back up again. It's almost time to brush hog this field again, which may happen this week. There's plenty of daylight whenever I get home from work that I might jump on the tractor and I can knock this small field out in the evening. Alright, now here's one of the other fields that we last mowed. You can definitely see all the Johnson grass coming back up really quickly. And you can definitely see some new growth out there, some lighter colors of green. This is looking really nice compared to what it looked like before we mowed it. We're going to mow that field over there probably this coming weekend if we have time. It's going to be a busy weekend that weekend as well. And that's going to be probably a half-a-day event, if not an all-day event to get. But this is coming up pretty good, and we'll have to fence it in pretty soon just so we can put the cows on it, which no matter what won't be till after September 16th, because I don't want to put the herd in here until these guys are gone and they can't mix back together and create a whole bunch of havoc for me. Let's go see if we can't find the herd real quick. Alright, we're in the barbed wire pasture now. Go see if we can't find the rest of the herd. You can tell they finished off that protein bucket. You can also tell that there's a bunch of weeds coming up. So soon, September 16th, we're bringing the steers to butcher. We're going to open that gate up to let the herd in there, and then we'll probably come in here and brush hog all this that day. Me and my wife both off that day, So she might be on the Kubota and I might be on the old tractor, just trying to knock out this 20 acres to get rid of all this undesirable stuff. You can tell they pretty much ate all but the last little bit of that hay. So we might have to throw us a hay bale in here today or tomorrow. It's always nice walking back here. It's nice and quiet. You hear very little bit of highway noise. Oh, and there's the herd. See two of them, see if we can see the rest of them. It's nice and sunny out. It's definitely cooling off a lot, which is nice considering that week before September 16th, I'm going to be taking off a couple of days. The idea is going to be to brush hog all that back there. Definitely not going to get it all knocked out because it's about 50 acres, and you can tell there's this overgrown trees and other junk all up in there. You can see it really good from here. Some of those trees ain't quite as tall as they look just because that's a really big hill. Once upon a time, we daydreamed about building our house on top of that big hill right there, and we thought it'd be just really nice to have a long driveway. But after looking at the price of a 3/4 mile long driveway and 3/4 mile long water lines, we decided that wasn't the route we wanted to go. So we decided to put it on that big hill over there, which is going to be fine in the long run. We can see the herd of cows over here. Oh, they spotted me. Try to navigate through all this without getting bit by something. So we got 3 cows, cow, bull in the very back, and then we got the 4 calves coming up. They're going to see if I brought any hay. You can see the 4 calves running. The littlest one's a steer. The front one and the one right by the small one are bulls, and then this little white one's a heifer. They're going to see if I brought in any hay. It got really hot and really dry, so the grasses really ain't growing as much as we need them to, which is also partially why we're trying to do rotational grazing here now. But with having the steers, we're just not able to do that right now. But 3 more weeks from tomorrow, and we'll be there. All right. Okay, this is one of the last fields we did from that angle. It has that little wood island on it. That was probably about 3 or 4 videos ago. The next big one's going to be this little field here. It's roughly the same size. This one's narrower but deeper, and you can tell it's pretty much got the same junk. These taller trees right here are old burn pile, so we might see what we got to do there. But it's basically in between this wood line, that wood line, and then that wood line to the barbed wire fence right here. But that's going to be it's going to take a bit. It's kind of a rough area. It's got some good little washouts and ruts in it from back when they cut all the trees down here. So this is definitely gonna be one of our next adventures. And then the next field over, which I call the box stand field because that's where my box stand is for deer season. We're gonna have to knock it down pretty soon too. It's not near as tall as this stuff, but that is a much larger field. It's about 8 acres versus this one, I think, is about 5 or 6, something like that. And that 8 acres over there is very rough, every bit of it. But we're gonna try to get it all knocked down before deer season, and then we're gonna get all, well, this knocked down first. And then ideally we're gonna fence in this section, and then we're gonna fence in this section with electric fence. And then we'll have an alley that's gonna run down the line here, basically, so I can open up the gate and let them come in, graze this field, and then I can move some electric fencing around to where it only lets them come into this field, and then we can move it around where it only lets them go in that field. And obviously we'll just use a different gate over here for them to eat this field. Basically trying to expand our rotational grazing, so hopefully we don't have to feed hay every summer like we currently have to. Only other thing we got to figure out is when we do have steers, we're gonna have to fence in the L-shaped field up here. Basically, they put the steers so they're far enough away to where we continues to graze this. Ugh, a lot of words. Okay, we have left the barbed wire field and gonna walk across the little valley right here, see what this field looks like. Be the first time me going back over here since we brush hogged it the other day. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if we got any growth coming back in. See how badly this stuff is washing out here. I have to do something about that in the near future. Don't know what yet. Yeah. Definitely tell this field is still looking pretty good. Not getting a whole lot of new green growth coming up, looks like. But still looking pretty clean. A lot better than what it did look like. And it's only been probably a week or two since we cut this, so it's looking a lot better. And then we make it up here to the rest of our animals that we have, which is mostly just chickens. They're still free ranging. We did have, about a week ago now, a coyote get to about that tree there before I chased them off. But we haven't seen them back since, so we let the chickens out while we're here, which I was here today, and I guess technically I wasn't here all day yesterday, but I let the chickens out yesterday too. So they're just living their best life, going around and eating whatever little bugs they find and laying eggs. Alright, the last bit I want to show is the L field here, the one that goes around the house. I can see how tall some of that stuff's getting. I always call it the L field because it starts, our driveway's over there, comes around, you got this wood line between this field and that field, and then it just follows the house all the way around and goes back over that way. So This stuff's getting really tall, or at least most of it. It's about let's see, this stuff right here is about hip deep on me, so that's probably roughly 3 foot, a little over 3 foot. I'm 6.5 foot tall altogether, and then a lot of this other stuff's actually over my head now. Alright, just to give you a kind of perspective, some of this stuff's over my head. I'm 6'5", so that kind of tells you how tall all this stuff is. Which most of the tall stuff's probably Johnson grass. And then you can see behind me, there's just a bunch of really tall, thick stuff. So sometime this week, I'm probably going to brush hog all this down after work one day. And ideally, we're going to have this fenced in before those other 2 bulls, soon to be steers, are prepping for freezer camp. They're going to, the idea is to be able to have them on this field and still continue to rotational graze my herd with the other fields over there. As of right now, I just can't do that because I'm not trusting a single strand of electric wire to keep them separated, because that ain't gonna happen. But while they're rotationally grazing, I can have them over here, and then when I have those back in the cow pasture, the barbed wire fence pasture, I can take the steers off this field, put them on that field over there, so we can kind of spread out that manure load and let them rotationally graze as well. So we are making a lot of headway here. It's really nice doing the electric fence just because we can do a lot of it relatively cheap, pretty fast. Still a big stressor because you always got to worry about if the fence goes down for whatever reason, which could be a coyote running through it, a pig running through it, a deer running through it, neighbor's horses stepping on it like we've seen before. So you always got to worry about that. But with the steel wire that I'm using now, along with that braided wire, that's not really a problem. We haven't had that issue. With the aluminum wire that we tried years ago, that was just a constant problem. Animals constantly running through it, or really they'll just deteriorate and like break through. Something with bird poop too. The birds would come and poop on it, and whatever was in that bird poop would just corrode that aluminum really fast for some reason. So, but making a lot of progress here. We're going to continue to do what we can do. We got a lot of stuff to do in the future, so I'm gonna let y'all go and get inside and get some dinner in me and go shower and get ready for work tomorrow, I guess. But thank you for joining me on the farm today. Y'all have a good one.